Hello on YouTube, on Twitch. Welcome to another episode of my Singularity Let's Play series. This is Northstar. Hope you're well, are taking care of each other, and being kind to yourselves. For those new to my channel, welcome. Returning viewers, welcome back. If you haven't, check out my YouTube channel page where you can find previous videos in my series. Organized into playlists, more than 50 playlists, 3 dozen games, and more than 2,000 videos. For those who haven't seen my channel before, I am disabled with long COVID. It does affect my cognition. Has a lot of secondary effects like money is extremely tight. Probably this government is in bad faith fighting my social security. And as a result of that, I'm a very stressful situation, and don't have a lot of choices with housing, and just a ton of secondary effects of this. They're doing the cheese exploration. I don't know if you guys seen this before. I did have a viewer on YouTube comment out. It's funny, this game has a little of everything. It's got literal cheese, but you know. It's a sort of variety clicker. Alright, not variety, but it's a clicker that tries to encompass everything. What you can see is that it's a AI computer simulation trying to understand everything. That's the best way I can explain it. Really, I mean, it's kind of weak premise, but it gets the job done, I suppose. That's stressed here. Have to deal with one roommate who is a total asshole. I'm throwing with metal baseball bat because it's messing with my stuff, putting it in pyramids and hiding it and putting it in dirty dish racks just to mess with me. And I knocked on his door like 6:30 one night about it. She later tried to call me at 12:30, but I have a text sent someone 9 hours after it happened. Didn't even word it as hours after, and it proves the guy was full of it. Sun had barely set, in fact. And yeah, anyways, the guy didn't like the knock to his door, so come out throwing a baseball bat, psycho. I have to deal with another guy who's a nice guy usually, but he's from other countries, so there's a lot of cultural potential for misunderstanding there, and he doesn't seem to get that different countries have different culture rules. I literally just had a conversation with him about this, and he's like, what's proper is proper. I'm like, no, what's proper varies by country. If you go to a Muslim country, you can't show the bottom of your feet or bottom of your shoes. It was an army ROTC, and they very careful to lecture us about that. It's considered extremely offensive in Muslim countries back in the day when I was an army ROTC. If you go to India, you can't shake someone's hand with your left hand because that's considered an unclean hand that you wipe your rear with, and so it's considered excruciatingly offensive to shake with your left hand, etc. Every culture has different understandings. People think it's just white people who go to other countries and assume that everyone sees things their way, but unfortunately it's people from anywhere in the world who don't understand how much cultures vary. Well, disappointing because this guy's a bit of a world traveler, so you'd think he was in a couple of countries before. You'd think he would have realized this, but no, apparently not. One thing that just came up today was guest right, like how you treat guests. I was literally just asking guests if we had over if the guy was planning on, I mean, not planning on, but if he was doing something, they'd be using a lot of bandwidth, because when I stream, sometimes I get dropped frames, it can sort of crawl. There's too many people sharing a single router, floors in the building I'm in fact. And so sometimes get excruciatingly slow internet, sometimes it's blazing fast. I was just trying to gauge that. It wasn't meant to be offensive or anything, or discourage a guy. I even said, just so I can potentially reduce my bitrate, don't worry about it. This guy, doesn't understand how cultures differ. And although he can be a very nice person, it's too slow to get that through. So it reminds me of grandparents where he sometimes tells the same stories over and over and over and over and over. And it's like I've heard this many times, like how he got the jerk roommate to leave him alone. It's like, yeah, I've heard that story. Please, I don't need to hear it again. And what worked with him did not work with me. Just knocking. Specifically, he went around knocking loudly on the guy's door and threatening him a little, and I just knocked a little rudely on the guy's door, and the guy came out with a baseball bat. So, yeah. He's muscular, so he doesn't seem to get what works for one person doesn't for another in that case. And I guess that goes with a general struggle with contextual thinking. Nice person, but people are too crowded in this place, and there's a lot of people who, for one reason or another, are marginalized. But sometimes for good reasons, like the total jerk, who I think is a pervert, and I think has maybe gone to the third world countries and taken advantage of people who are trafficked. I don't know. And yeah, this guy who's had a brain injury from a medical malpractice at some point, and I don't think he quite understands things the way the rest of us do, on top of cultural misunderstandings, which is a shame. Very nice person, though. Very nice. But getting liable to get upset about things and not listen. He does play him off, when in reality that's the most important time to listen. Of course, to hear himself tell it, he wasn't always such a nice person, so I don't know. Shouldn't read too much into anything. The most important thing is to know how little you know in life, and I try to hold that very close to heart. So it doesn't mean that anybody who says something is right, but to me, but just be skeptical about everything. It's a good lesson for life. So the explorations in this game, they end periodically. The explore ones. Said that twice. Long COVID brain. So next will be Good Vibrations, then Fungus Among Us, then Anatomy of Life. They're badges you earn for these, and they make future versions of that same exploration a little faster. A little. It's also main simulation. You can reset it. I've been resetting it here just to get the nanobots to reset, but you can also do it to implement upgrades. To actually go to the upgrade screen here. Spend these currencies to upgrade the main simulation. There's the Mesozoic Valley, which is dinosaur thing. I thought it only had a limited number of like upgrade resets, but apparently there's an infinity mode in it, so maybe I should just rush through the last, I think, 5, and then I'll go to the infinity mode. I don't know. I've been sitting trying to get a few mutagen points for getting a certain number of Triceratops. I'll show you guys in a second what the heck I'm talking about. Alright, I'm never going to reach top 100 on this, so I should probably just take a few more of the currencies that are cheapest. Maybe it's night now. Maybe I'll log back in the morning. Through exponential growth. Get a little closer, but I doubt it, especially because others be competing. The point is at least, though, not to fall out of the top 250 ranking. Gives a little bit of mutagen points, and those mutagen points do up on the Mesozoic Valley. I'd always assume that was because you only got a very limited number of resets, that'd be valuable, but if that's not the case, I'm not actually sure why I care. Yeah, so you can see I'm on reset number 45 here. Apparently you can just keep resetting, I think. I'm not sure, 100% sure. So I've been trying to get 4 more Triceratops. When you get to 500, you get some mutagen. And then I was gonna reset this. Yeah, so it's a big, beautiful, diverse world we live in. It'd be nice if more people would just be patient, understand with each other. Oh, this roommate of mine is very, very, very Christian, so I think the Bible talks about church not likely to be judged and stuff, and just not very covertly hints at being more understanding and patient with people. But no, it doesn't get through, unfortunately. Too often religion becomes a path for self-righteousness or utter conviction. Everyone sees the world. You do. That was always a problem I had when I was part of a evangelical church. At one point, seeing people act like this and part of what drove me back to mainstream Christianity away from that evangelical church because of that, and because the church leaders were being very wealthy but wouldn't help. A roommate of mine who got some financial troubles had a kid on the way, and was a widow son of a pastor, and he made some mistakes when he was very depressed after his dad died, and was trying to get his life back together. He was in danger of homelessness, and they wouldn't help him. Like, oh, we only help people who are part of the church. I'm like, that's not what Jesus taught. A lot of churches will try and get people to throw out their sense and rally their moral compass and then say, oh, it's just knowledge. Don't think with their... No, it's... In this case, this is not just knowledge. This is, if anything, the part of yourself you should listen to most. A sense that being able to tell that, you know, a church is being hypocritical about beliefs or something. The things don't add up. They're not practicing what they preach. Indeed, Jesus preached heavily against hypocrites. So that was a fun experience back in the day. But, fresh cheese in this. Or I could just cut this video. It's just shy of 15 minutes, about 14. I don't know. Hoping some people pop over on Twitch, say something, follow, you know, comment, but not have any luck right now. Get video on demand viewers, but not live. Maybe I need to set a schedule. Let me know what you think. I can't whisper, but if you do catch me live sometime, let me know if the problem is, if you're one of my regular viewers that on video on demand that you just can't catch me. I need to set a schedule. Anyways, I wish you all the best. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves, and may you always find a guiding star to lead you home. Until next time, this is Northstar. Adieu, and best luck to you all.